Hey Tim, hey everyone else, welcome back to 4 Running Shoes. This is the final week before my marathon block starts. I realise that I have miscalculated slightly. I was going to give myself a 12-week lead up, 12-week marathon block, but this would have been the first week if I did that. I'm still running, obviously, and I'm building distance, so I guess you could kind of think of it as like a soft entry, but no, I'm starting it properly next week, which will be 11 weeks leading into the marathon, and I think that'll be okay. So the end of November, so I'll have just under 3 months to prepare, and I think that'll be okay. I'm entering the season with a lot more fitness than I did my previous marathon season, and the marathon I'm running should be easier. But that's exciting, and I'm looking forward to starting that block of marathon training. I am just planning about what I want to achieve during this season and what my goals are for my marathon. I am looking to run a marathon PB, which will not be difficult because the last one was very, very slow, just due to the course. And so I'm setting a pretty conservative goal of just breaking the 4-hour mark. That's, almost 3 hours faster than my previous one, but I think that'll be achievable, but it'll mean that I'm needing to work on my speed a little bit. Obviously I want to probably run it considerably faster than that, but I think as a goal that's probably appropriate for this point in time. I might revise it as we get a little closer and I'm running my long runs and I'm working on what speeds I can probably do those in. But at the moment, I think that's probably wise to set it pretty conservative. I'm really eager to also do this season without getting injured. I was carrying injury into the race that I ran last time, and at the end of the day, that wasn't a huge problem. That wasn't the injury that I had to recover from, but it did mean that I didn't get as much running in towards the race itself in order to be able to run the race. So I want to avoid that as much as I can. So my plan is to have 4 and then probably 5 runs per week as the season goes on. I will probably have an easy start to the week. Monday will be essentially a recovery run just to get the kilometers in, maintain the fitness. Tuesday will be slightly longer. I'm thinking about maybe that'll become a run commute, maybe not. I'm not sure yet. And then I'll probably rest on Wednesday. It just works for my lifestyle and my schedule in my week. Thursday, I would like to do some speed work, which I really neglected to do in my previous marathon season, just because I wanted to get to the marathon uninjured. But this time, I think that because I'm entering it so injury-free on such fresh legs, I think that we can probably start doing a little bit more speed work. And obviously, I'm not training for the hills that I was in the previous marathon, so I think that I can probably fit some speed work in and not be too hard. Friday will probably start off being a rest day, but it might turn into a recovery run day. And then Saturday will be my long run, Sunday rest day, unless I really feel like I need to stretch the legs and loosen up, but we'll take that as it comes. I think the first few weeks of my season, I'm not going to extend the long run too much. I'm going to extend the number of kilometers per week, running with the 4 or 5 per week, and then after that we'll start extending that. So probably start with my long runs at about 16Ks to the 10 mile, and then we'll extend it from there. So I'll just do that for a few weeks. But the running itself is not the only thing that I want to be aware of or thinking about or conscious of as I go into this season. I realized in my last season, or even the one before then, that I didn't get to the marathon because of COVID, that there are changes to my lifestyle that I need to make in order to do this well. Some fairly obvious ones, eating. I need to make sure that my caloric intake goes up. So I will be restarting meal prepping. So Sunday I'll do a meal prep for the week, for my lunches at least, and my kind of snacks that I eat. So I'll be loading up trail mix for snacks and a fairly high energy, high carb protein lunch for each day during the week. I found that really successful when I'm in the past, especially when approaching really high mileage weeks, because I found that I was just getting hungry all the time, and that's no good. And nutrition is really important when it comes to this kind of thing. Another one is sleep. I'm going to be really making sure that my sleep schedule is on track. I tend to have late nights by default, and I can't really be affording to do that when I'm putting my body under that strain. I want to prevent injury, and I want to be, hitting each run the best that I can, and in the best condition, and just looking after my health. So sleep is going to be important. And the other thing that I tried in my last season, it was successful, I think, is cutting out alcohol. I'm not a heavy drinker by any means, and I only really have a couple of casual drinks on the weekend, maybe. But due to, alcohol being encouraging inflammation in muscles, which can lead to injury, and also the way that it changes how our bodies process carbohydrates, in that it turns into fats faster. I want to be avoiding that, especially when carb loading or looking towards long runs, because I want the carbs to remain as accessible as they can. So I don't want my body turning them into fats too early. So I'm going to go dry for the next few months. I did it last time, it worked out all right. I think it's probably a good practice to do from time to time anyway. So I'll be doing that. Not that that's going to be a massive change. So just thinking about those kind of things, eating, sleeping, and drinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking about going into my season. So a few changes for me to be making over the next little while, and I'm looking forward to getting into marathon training. It's been a lot less running in the previous season that I've just come out of. I was hoping to get sub 25k in, but due to such a slow recovery and then a bit of sickness, I haven't gotten the kilometers in. Last week I managed to get, it was the furthest I've run in a week since the marathon. I ran only 22 kilometers in total, but it was nice to do that. So hoping to, this next week coming will be possibly up to 30. I know we're adding distance, but we'll get the 4 runs in for next week. And then after that, we will begin marathon training. So that's what I'm thinking about at the moment. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check Tim's video on Thursday. He talked in his last one about the energy that he's taking into his running. I will at some point talk about mine. It's probably just going to be the gels that I've been using, which have been pretty good for me. I had a little bit of nausea during my race with them, but I think that's probably race related rather than the gels themselves. Make sure you check my video out on Tuesday, where I review my final week before the marathon season starts. That's all for now though. We'll see you next time.